So is Past Lives, my favorite film of 2023, going to be the big winner at the first award show of the season? Hey, it's Brian. This is the awards contender, and it's time for me to give you my predictions for the 2023 Gotham Awards. Here we go. So to be perfectly honest, this is not an award show I've paid much attention to throughout the years. I really came to notice it for the first time the last award season when we got all of those clips of like Todd Field winning Best Screenplay, Everything Everywhere All at Once winning Best Picture, and one of my favorite speeches of the entire last award season was Michelle Williams at the Gotham Awards. All of those things she said about playing Jen in Dawson's Creek, how that helped her throughout her career, how she never looks back on her older projects with disgust or with embarrassment. And I mean, here's the deal. This is the first one, really, of the season. Like, nominations announced in October, and then the winners are announced at the end of November. So really nothing happens outside of the Gotham Awards until December. That's when the critics group start voting, and we start to get like the Golden Globe nominations and the Critics' Choice nominations and things. Like by the end of November, it's really just this one organization for the most part. I did have a few people reach out to me in the last couple days asking me if I could say a few words about the Gotham Awards. I looked at the nominations on Tuesday and was pretty pleased overall. Of course, there are some noticeable omissions. Like some big awards movies didn't even submit for consideration. Oppenheimer was one, Killers of the Flower Moon was one, and then there's all these rules with the organization. Like up until this year, I think, if your movie costs more than $35 million, you couldn't even qualify to get into any category. That has obviously changed this year because Ryan Gosling got in for Barbie. Like, I'm not gonna take the Gotham Awards too seriously, but in the last ceremony, they awarded Ke Huy Quan Best Supporting Performer, and they awarded Everything Everywhere All at Once Best Picture. So, I mean, it's not like it's nothing. Like, because it's the first one to really get the nominations out, to give some prizes out at the end of November, like, I thought it was worth a video. So let's go into the 6 film categories. Now, there are some TV categories. I'm not going to talk about those. And there is a Best Documentary Feature category. I have not seen any of the 5 nominees, so I would have nothing to say there. So in this video, I'm going to give you my predictions in the other 6 feature film categories, starting with Breakthrough Director. The nominees are Raven Jackson, All Dirt Roads, Taste of Salt, Georgia Oakley, Blue Jean, Michelle Garza Cervera, Husera, Celine Song, Past Lives, and A.V. Rockwell, 1001. So this is a very Sundance Film Festival friendly list. I have seen 3 of these titles, all at the last Sundance. Of course, I'm going to go with Celine Song for Past Lives, my favorite film of the year. I mean, I think if Celine Song gets in anywhere in the precursors, we have to celebrate it, because I don't think she has a chance to get into director at the Oscars, although that would be awesome. But I do think she has a very good shot of getting into original screenplay at the Academy Awards, and any award show that has Past Lives in the nomination list for acting, directing, picture, whatever, I am going to celebrate. And so although the Gotham Awards did snub the film in a couple categories I'll talk about in a minute, I love that they gave Celine Song this nomination. I do think she's going to win this one. Like, the only other one I could see maybe winning is A.V. Rockwell for 1001. That is a terrific film. It won the Grand Jury Prize at Sundance. But, I mean, I just don't know how well that one is going to do this award season. Same thing with All Dirt Roads, Taste of Salt, which is a very beautiful film to look at. On a narrative level, it didn't really strike me, so I do think Celine Song will take this one. I look forward to her speech in a few weeks. The next category is Best International Feature. We have All of Us Strangers, Anatomy of a Fall, Poor Things, Totem, and The Zone of Interest. So All of Us Strangers did the best at the Gotham Awards. It got into 4 categories, including Best Lead Performance, and here we have Best International Feature. I don't know if that's necessarily the category you award this movie in. Like, I don't think about All of Us Strangers as an international film. And then what's really weird about this category is we have Poor Things here. So it's like, wait a sec. That is my favorite film in the category, but it's not nominated anywhere else. Emma Stone is not nominated in Best Lead Performance, which is very weird to me. I do think she gives the performance of the year in that movie, and anywhere she is eligible, I feel like she'll get in. So I don't know what happened there. Why was this amazing film only nominated in International Feature, but it doesn't show up in either of the acting categories? So I feel like for whatever reason, they're not going to give it a win here if it's not in anywhere else. And so this one kind of feels like a toss-up. I do think Anatomy of a Fall has the edge, just because that is a true like international film and is going to do very well this award season. I could see that film winning prizes all over the place, but again, Sandra Hüller is not in Best Lead Performance. She did get into Supporting Performance for The Zone of Interest. So I'm like, this one's kind of like, this one's giving me a headache. I'm like, why would they nominate these two films in International Feature but not highlight those two incredible performances? So I'm kind of going back and forth on this. It could be Poor Things, it could be All of Us Strangers, and I wouldn't count out The Zone of Interest, but I'm going to go with Anatomy of a Fall. Next up is Best Screenplay. We have All of Us Strangers, Anatomy of a Fall, May December, RMN, and The Zone of Interest. So we have some repeat nominees from International Feature here. The question is, like, what are they going to think is the best script? Anatomy of a Fall is a lot of things. It is an outstanding movie. I don't know if we reward it Best Screenplay. I don't know if that's the place you give it a prize. Like, it does have a very good script, some twists and turns, but it's the performances that stick with you out of that movie. You don't walk out of that film being like, wow, that screenplay. So I do think it has a shot to win here. Same with The Zone of Interest, which is a really interesting film. But because it got the most nominations here overall, I am going to go with All of Us Strangers. I would love to see Andrew Haigh get his first Oscar nomination in a few months for his divine screenplay adaptation, All of Us Strangers. I think any wins he can pick up in the early part of award season, where he gets to give a speech. I mean, the movie's not even opening until I think the end of December. So like, we need this film to get some press, to get some eyeballs in award season. And like right now, I have him in 5th place to get an Oscar nomination in Best Adapted Screenplay. Any wins and speeches would help. So I do think he has a pretty good shot to win here. This might be the only place All of Us Strangers wins at the Gotham Awards, but I do think that film is very writer-friendly. That is a movie you walk out of thinking about the creativity of the screenplay. So in this category here, Best Screenplay, I'm going to go with All of Us Strangers by Andrew Haigh. All right, next up is Outstanding Supporting Performance. We have Juliette Binoche, The Taste of Things, Penelope Cruz, Ferrari, Jamie Foxx, They Clone Tyrone, Claire Foy, All of Us Strangers, Ryan Gosling, Barbie, Glenn Howerton, Blackberry, Sandra Hüller, The Zone of Interest, Rachel McAdams, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, Charles Melton, May December, and Divine Joy Randolph, The Holdovers. What an amazing list of names that is. Like, really terrific performances, movies that run the gamut. Big budget, small budget, comedies, dramas. Like, this category kind of has everything. And the two I haven't seen are They Clone Tyrone and Blackberry. I keep hearing things about Blackberry in the YouTube comments, on Twitter. I keep seeing things like, go watch Blackberry. So it is going right at the top of my list. I want to check it out. And then I don't even know what They Clone Tyrone is. I haven't even heard of that film, so I'm going to add that to the list too. The other performances on this list are definitely in the Oscar conversation. I have talked about all of them in my 2 recent Oscar prediction videos for the supporting categories. And now it's like, well, what are they going to award here? Are they going to go with the performance they think has the best chance of like winning an Oscar? Are they just going to pick what they like the best? I don't really know how this group goes. You look at this and you go, okay, Ryan Gosling in Barbie could get it, just because that is a performance that is very heavily favored to get into the Oscars and is like neck and neck with just a couple other people to potentially win. So if he were to take this, that would be an early victory for Ryan Gosling in the Best Supporting Actor campaign. So that might happen. But then you look at Rachel McAdams' Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. That is one of my favorite performances of the year. I really have my doubts how far that performance can go. If that gets any really big nominations, I'm going to be so happy. I mean, that was a pretty small film released last April, and I don't know if there's any other category that can get in. Rachel McAdams is such a gifted, comedic, and dramatic performer, and I would love to see her get into a bunch of ceremonies for that performance. I'm hoping this is not the beginning and the end for her, but I don't think she wins this. I mean, it's tricky because most of these performances are for films that are not in any of the other film categories at the Gotham Awards. So I'm kind of leaning toward Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers, just because that is going to be a very celebrated performance this award season. I think right now she is the frontrunner to win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. I mean, she's definitely near the top, if not the top, for that category. And so I feel like they might give it to her. They gave it to Ke Huy Quan a year ago for Everything Everywhere All at Once. He ended up winning. So I don't know, Charles Melton maybe, Juliette Binoche, she could be a dark horse here. Juliette Binoche could maybe do very well this next award season, and we're just not prepared. Like, that could happen too. But right now, in Outstanding Supporting Performance at the Gotham Awards, I'm going to predict Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers. All right, 2 categories left. The next one is Outstanding Lead Performance. The nominees are Anjanou Ellis-Taylor, Origin, Lily Gladstone, The Unknown Country, Greta Lee, Past Lives, Franz Rogowski, Passages, Babetida Sajo, Our Father the Devil, Andrew Scott, All of Us Strangers, Kaylee Spaney, Priscilla, Teyana Taylor, 1001, Michelle Williams, Showing Up, and Jeffrey Wright, American Fiction. Wow, those are some amazing performances. The ones I've seen anyway. I've only seen 5 of those 10 performances. The ones I haven't seen yet are Origin, The Unknown Country, Our Father the Devil, Priscilla, and American Fiction. Priscilla is coming out in just a few days. I will be seeing that very shortly. The other ones, hopefully I can get to them soon. Now, of the performances I've seen here, I don't know if there's going to be a lot of suspense. Like, what do you think I'm going to pick? This is a really interesting list. I feel like Lily Gladstone getting in for The Unknown Country is a sign for what's to come. Like, how many people have even heard of this movie? I have never heard of that film. Like, the fact that they couldn't nominate her for Killers of the Flower Moon because the movie wasn't submitted, but they still got her in for another film. Like, I think that's telling for how well this amazing actress is going to do this award season. I love that Passages got some love here. That's really awesome. That was another great film I saw at Sundance. And I remember walking out being like, that one might just come and go. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was excellent, very well written and acted. But it kind of got a quiet release in August, and I haven't heard much of it since. Any award nominations that movie gets, thumbs up for me. And then Showing Up getting in here was kind of a surprise. That was a very quiet release way back in April, and it never came to my town to see, and it was really tough to even find a way to watch this movie until a few weeks ago. I watched it on Amazon, and it's not great, but it was interesting. I liked it. So for Michelle Williams to get in here, the movie to get into Best Feature, that's really cool. I don't think it can win. I feel like this category comes down to Greta Lee, Andrew Scott, and Jeffrey Wright. I feel like those 3 names we're going to see a lot this award season. And again, kind of like what I talked about in the supporting category, I feel like a win for one of these 3 very early in the season will only help their campaign moving forward. Best Actor this coming season is going to be very stacked, and I don't think both Andrew Scott and Jeffrey Wright can get in. I think there's only room for one of them, and it's also possible they could both miss. Like, I don't know how well their films are going to do at the big award ceremonies in the weeks and months to come. I love that they both got in here. I do think that Andrew Scott performance is fantastic, and I do hope he wins some critics prizes and gets some traction this award season for that wonderful turn in All of Us Strangers. I don't think he's going to win this one. Same thing with Jeffrey Wright. We also shouldn't count out Kaylee Spaney for Priscilla, since she did win Best Actress at Venice, so you never know with her. she might also get more awards this season, more nominations than we're expecting. Like, she could also get into the Oscars. Best Actress right now is kind of up for grabs. There's a lot of people going after those 5 slots. But sorry to ruin the suspense. Let's be honest, there was no suspense. I am, of course, predicting Greta Lee will win this award for Past Lives. She gives such a spectacular turn in that movie. I have not stopped thinking about it. How many months now since I watched Past Lives for the first time? Way back in January. Like, it's been 9 months. And that film is so special. And that lead performance by Greta Lee is just wonderful. She breaks my heart at the end of that film. I want Greta Lee to get nominated everywhere this award season. I want her to win things. And I do think a victory at the Gotham Awards would be a really good first step into award season on that long trek to Oscar nominations morning. Greta Lee deserves to get an Academy Award nomination for her performance in Past Lives, and I do think she is going to win Outstanding Lead Performance at the Gotham Awards. Alright, the final category to discuss is Best Feature. The nominees are Passages, Past Lives, Reality, Showing Up, and 1001. Another great list here. The only one I haven't seen is Reality. I believe that is on Max. I've been meaning to take a look at it. Again, I'm very, very happy to see Passages get a Best Feature nomination at an award show. That is awesome. And 1001 too. Really terrific film. Now, when it comes to Past Lives, there is a mystery to me. Why would they nominate it for Best Feature, Outstanding Lead Performance, but not Best Screenplay? Like, that's really weird to me. Like, the film's best chance of getting into the Oscars is in Best Original Screenplay. Why would it not show up in Best Screenplay at the Gotham Awards? Like, they clearly like the movie, and it has a very good shot, I would say, of winning Best Feature. There's not another title in that category that I'm like, oh, well, that one might take it as well. Like, I guess you could say Passages or 1001 have a shot, but I do think of these 5 films nominated for Best Feature at the Gotham Awards, the one that's going to have the best chance at success throughout the entire award season is Past Lives. So that is kind of weird to me. Why did they not give it a nomination in supporting performance or screenplay? I don't know. But ultimately, I do feel like Best Feature is going to be the easiest category at the Gotham Awards to predict. The winner, let's face it, it's gonna be this guy. My favorite film of 2023, Past Lives. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what you think is going to win in the feature film categories at the upcoming Gotham Awards. We'll see you next time at the Awards Contender.